here is what I found out. Full military A components versus full stealth A components with exactly same weapon and missile loadout. Their IR and EM emission signature are exactly the same. It makes no difference. So the current gameplay, the components does not support stealth. It's all equalized. So what you just heard is one of the videos that I made in the 3.23.1. I tested the stealth intensively. At that time, the stealth factor for the components are not in-game. However, things have changed, and this is one of the most important change in the 3.24.2. Let's take a quick look. Oops, it's not through mobiGlass. Okay, for example, the Hornet Ghost. If I click shield, and the stealth factor you need to consider is here, EM max. Let's take a look at the difference. For the shield generator, the stealth A will give you an EM max only 114. But for a military C, look at that. EM goes all the way to 1700 something. That's a huge difference. And this is what stealth components should be. But do expect that CIG balance this out. If they think, oh, this stealth component is way too much, too stealthy, they probably will increase this to 300, 400. So expect that to be changed. So that's the shield generator. And cooler has two factors you need to consider. One is EM and the other is IR. But for stealth component, you will have the lowest EM max and lowest IR max. That is a power plant. You also have a EM per segment and the EM decay. And EM decay is 0.15 for all the components. It's all equalized. But EM per segment. So the stealth components have the lowest EM per segment for power plant. And for the quantum drive as well, and especially for the quantum drive. Take a look at the EM max for the stealth components. 3000 something, right? And then take a look at the industrial B or military. It's over 20,000. This is 27,000. Which means if you're using a stealth ship during combat, you need to do some tactical escape. And you go from SEM mode to quantum mode. The moment you press that button to go to quantum mode, your EM signature is gonna go way high if you're using other quantum drives. But if you're using stealth quantum drive, your EM signature will go higher, but it will not go that high. So even in quantum mode, you can still maintain certain amount of stealth. And that's what we're gonna be testing out as well in this video. So stealth components in this patch, they have been diversified and made into effect. So simple rule is building a stealth ship, use all stealth components. Okay, so that's the general rule of building a stealth ship. Now we're gonna take a look at how to most effectively use your stealth components for your stealth ship. So our example today is the Hornet Ghost Mark 1. And by the way, all the size 1 and size 2 stealth components can be purchased at the Cousins Core Odyssey. And for the size 1 stealth quantum drive, I can only get this Zephyr, which is a stealth B quantum drive. They don't sell stealth A, but stealth B is good enough. Now you can see I don't have any shield generators on my ship, and I have only one cooler and one power plant. The reason I do this is because, for example, in the previous patches, if I put 2 shield generators on my ship, but I shut it down from my power management, it's different than you unequipped those 2 shield generators altogether from your ship. When you unequip those shield generators, you will have much lower signature on your ship. If you just shut down those shield generator on your ship, it does not make too much of a difference for your signature. However, 3.24.2 has changed this because of the new power management system. So we're gonna do a little test right now. Oh, how I love a small hangar. My goodness, the extra large hangar is so hard to walk. Okay, let's board the ship. So don't worry about the weapons right now. We're gonna talk about that later in detail. Alright, so this is the SEM mode. However, there are certain problems for the IR. I mentioned a couple times in my previous videos. The IR show up on my MFD is incorrect, and the correct IR is here for this loadout. Only 1063, and my EM is as low as 1255. and my cross section from the front is 1357. So in this case, the minimum detection range for this ship, if I face my enemy nose to nose, my detection range depends on the radar. It's around 1.2 kilometers. That's it. Oh, by the way, I didn't turn my engine on earlier. So now I turn my engine on. You can see my EM signature is 1.3 kilometers, which is also very low. But the more power I give to my engine, the higher my EM signature. I give one more, 1.5 now, and give one more is 1.7. But if I lower my weapon, you can see my signature is going down. What weapon I use for the ship? Okay, Strife Mice Driver Cannon. So those are the ballistics. For ballistic weapons, you don't really need all these powers. All you need is just turn the weapon on. Now you can see I can still fire my weapon, can I? Yes, I can still fire my weapon. So this is a charged weapon, so I just need 1 pip for my weapon. That's it. So with full power to engine and sufficient power to my weapon, no shield generators, my lowest signature is 1.3 kilometers for my EM. And now if I go to quantum drive mode and give full power, I don't need a weapon, I can turn it off. I'm gonna give full power to my engine. Now you can see my EM is only 5K. That's it. But if I put a military or a industrial quantum drive, my EM is going to go all the way up to over 20 kilometers, which means I will be detected all the way to above 20 kilometers. But right now, even in quantum drive mode, my detection range is only 5 kilometers. With this, you can easily make your tactical withdrawal or strategic disengagement. Now we're gonna put 2 shield generators back. So I'm gonna be using the Mirage Stealth A shield generators. 1 power plant, 1 cooler, 2 shields. Okay, now this is the value when I put 2 shield generators on and make it active on my left right here. So my IR stayed almost the same, 1173, a little bit higher, and my EM is a lot higher, 2167. Now let's take a look at the ship. If I give full power to weapon, full power to engine, and full power to shield, these are my signature values. That's exactly matches what I have here. But if I lower my gun to here, now you can see my EM signature is going down. We're gonna wait until it hits the minimum. That's it, 1.8 kilometers for my EM signature. However, now I do have 2 fully functional shield generators, right? But what if I turn off my shield generator here, rather than take it out from my ship? Let's wait. There we go. Now you can see my signature, EM signature, went back to 1.3 kilometers. This is exactly same situation as when we don't equip any shield generators. So this is a difference than the previous patches, which means you can equip the shield generators for your stealth ship as long as you manage that power well, as long as you have sufficient power to power up your ship first. Next loadout is I'm gonna put the cooler back. So both coolers are Snowblind Stealth A. Alright, now I have a full Stealth A component built for my Hornet Ghost, except the Quantum Drive, which is Stealth B, but every other component, Stealth A. Now, let's look at this. Like I said, the IR is bugged on the ship HUD. So, on the website, with 2 coolers fully equipped and powered on, you can see right here, 2 coolers powered on, my IR went up to 1600, which means your coolers will not only increase your EM signature, but especially it will increase your IR signature. And now the actual IR is 1600 now. It's right here, 1600. But if I turn off one of my cooler, there we go. Now my IR goes to 1173. This is like before. So now we can sum up a general rule for the most effective use of your components for a stealth ship. The rule is simple. Put every single component with a stealth A component, and then manage your power. If you have 2 coolers, leave one off. And if you have shields, turn them off. If you have ballistic weapons, give minimum power to weapon. And watch your signature go down significantly. With full components loadout on the ship, we have achieved the exactly same results as our first build, with only 1 power plant and 1 cooler. And this is the minimum detection range for your ship. Of course, based on the combat scenario and based on your skill level, you just have to do power management very wisely during combat. If you need to turn your shield on, turn your shield down. If you need to make tactical disengagement, make that tactical disengagement. With the quantum drive signature of only 5 kilometers. If you turn off your weapon, and with only 1 cooler on. But what if I turn 2 coolers on during quantum drive mode? Your EM is about 5.2. It's not too bad. And I turn 1 cooler off, it's going down. Yeah, 5 kilometers. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the most effective use for your stealth component, for your stealth ship. Now, let's move on to the weapon loadout for the ship.